Okay, when you are trying to write equations of lines and you're given a point and you're simply told that it is either parallel or perpendicular, what you need to focus with is your slope. So do remember that if you are looking at parallel lines, they have the same slope. And if you are looking at perpendicular lines, they have the negative reciprocal. Reciprocal slope. So opposite sign and flipped. So over here where it tells me the point and then it says I want this to go to parallel to this line, y equals 6x plus 2. I need to focus on my slope. Since I'm doing a parallel line, the slope that I'm going to be using is the same. It's going to be 6. Then you can either use your y equals mx plus b method, or you can use your point slope, the one that's the y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. I know some of you prefer one method over the other, so for this first problem, I'm going to do the first method we showed you, the y equals mx plus b, and then on the second problem, I will use the second method. So with y equals mx plus b, I want to plug in my y value, which is negative 5. My m, or my slope, is 6. I'm going to plug in my x value, which is negative 1, and then plus b. And then I'm solving that for b. So there's nothing I can do on this left side. I'm just going to leave that as a negative 5. 6 times negative 1 is negative 6. And then keep my plus b. Again, I'm trying to solve for b, so I'm going to add 6 to both sides. Negative 5 plus 6 is 1 equals b. So now I have my slope and I have my y-intercept. I can write my equation. Y equals 6x plus 1. And that is my answer. On number 2, this time we're doing perpendicular. So when I look at this slope, I want to flip it, make it 6 over 5, and make it negative. That's the slope that I'm going to use for this line. Like I said a minute ago, I want to use the second method on this problem. You could still use the same method, I just want to make sure I show them both to you. So I start with y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. My y1 value is a negative 2. My m is a negative 6/5, and my x1 value is 5. Y minus a negative 2 is the same as y plus 2. On this right side, I'm going to distribute my negative 6/5, and I get negative 6/5 x, so that was right there. I'm also going to multiply it by that negative 5. So a negative 6/5 times a negative 5 is actually going to be a plus 6. Trying to get the y by itself, so I subtract 2 from both sides. I'm going to have y equals negative 6/5 x plus 4. And there is my final answer. Do make sure when you are doing perpendicular lines and you figure out what that slope should be, make sure you use that slope in your problem. 3 is kind of an interesting one here. Perpendicular, when I look at this slope, y equals 0 is just going to be this line right here. So that slope is equal to 0. When I go to change this to a perpendicular slope, I can't really flip a 0 because then it's going to be 1 over 0 and that's not going to work. That's undefined. And if you think about it, y equals 0 is a horizontal line, just like I said. If I want a perpendicular one, that's going to be a vertical line, which has a slope that's undefined, which means I can't write my equation like normal. My undefined slope, that's just going to be x equals, and then I simply want to look at what the x value is, which in this case was negative 4. So x equals -4 is going to be my equation. Do make sure you answer the questions that are on the website as well tonight.